This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
Good evening. We start tonight with a weather alert and a wave of rain and snow hitting the bi-state. Let's take a live look from I-64 in Weldon Spring in St. Charles County. You can see slick, wet roads. Traffic really not a problem. We're at the end of the evening rush hour, about 6 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. We've got team coverage to help you stay safe on the roads tonight. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell has our weather first forecast. Paul Cook is watching traffic. And our Annie Kroll is in the storm tracker.
Let's start with Scott.
Yeah, we're keeping Paul up late tonight from Today in St. Louis, but we're going to get this system out of here this evening and Paul can get home and get some rest. All right, so this morning we started out with rain. Temperatures were back into the 40s. Now we're dropping through the 30s and we're making that transition to snow, but we're still above freezing in St. Louis. That's a live look out into Chesterfield right now, where we do have some snow falling and just wet roads. We're wrapping around the moisture on the backside of this system with the colder air coming in. We still have a few more bands here to get through this evening with some snow, but again, it's not really heavy snow like we have seen at times north and west of St. Louis yesterday evening, and like we saw last Friday night, especially east and southeast of St. Louis. This seems to be a little bit lighter, although it is coming down at a fairly decent rate here to the southwest of St. Louis at this point. Temperatures, though, mostly just above freezing. We have the concerns, though, as you go to the west and southwest of St. Louis, where those temperatures are right around or a little below freezing, that there could be some slick spots. Snow is going to be ending from the west. In the metro area, it ends between 8 and 9. Look for less than an inch of additional accumulation, and we'll talk more about what's coming in the weekend in a few minutes.
All right, Scott, thank you. Let's take a live look from the 5 on your side storm tracker with Annie Kroll. And Annie, how's it been during this evening rush?
Well, and we've been on the roads all day. I know we started over a little bit farther west. We were over in Wentzville, and then of course we made our way over to St. Charles, and now we are all the way over here east in St. Louis County. And I want to show you what I'm seeing on the roads right now, because folks are getting all the way home. It's starting to snow a little bit less. I can just see the snowflakes have gotten just a hair smaller. In fact, over in Wentzville they were much bigger, but right now, a little bit after 6 o'clock, it's going to be a little bit hard to see right now, but of course it's darker. And I want to give you a little bit of updates, because we were talking to snowplow drivers earlier today, not only just in St. Louis County, but over in St. Charles County. And I want to talk about the St. Louis County folks first. When they have to do their snowplows, they have 112 snowplows in St. Louis County that are out, and they're plowing these roads to try and keep everyone safe. But then those snowplows, they're not going to be able to get used 100% today. They're going to be actually trying to keep these drivers safe. And one of the biggest things when we're talking about that safety with drivers is how crucial it is to be safe on the roads, and most importantly, be prepared.
Make sure that your car has a full tank of gas. I just gassed mine up on my way here, but that also you've got some essentials in your car. Make sure you've got a blanket. Make sure you've got some first aid and emergency supplies. And if you, for some reason, need to be on the roads, traveling into or through areas of bad weather, make sure you've got some essentials, bottles of water, medications, and other things that you might need.
Now, absolutely, and like I was saying, we are still in St. Louis County, and the American Red Cross is talking about how important it is to make sure that you are prepared. Let's take a look at the roads right now. It's going to be just a little bit slow. Things are moving, which is good. It probably isn't as bad as a lot of folks were expecting. When I was over in St. Charles County, they were talking about the fact that they are still in the need of drivers. St. Louis County, where we are right now, also still in the need for drivers. So if you are interested in being a snowplow driver, that still is an opportunity. But these roads are looking pretty darn good right now. I'm not too worried about it, but of course they are slick. The snow is still out and about, so you have to be very conscientious when you are driving home, or if you're trying to make plans, it might be better to maybe reschedule. So that's the thing that we want to make sure that we keep in mind while it is the winter weather. Reporting live in St. Louis County, Annie Kroll, 5 on your side.
Annie, thank you. Let's get to Paul Cook, our traffic expert from our Today in St. Louis team tonight, watching traffic all over the bi-state. Paul.
Yeah, so great to be with you. And well, this picture here, actually 4 different cameras tell the story here. Along the top, we are on 70 where the storm was coming in more, and you can see visibility not great. And then look at 141 here, left side of your screen, the lower left, you're going to see near Maryville University. We definitely are going to have some visibility issues. You just want to be careful. If you're leaving in the next 20 minutes, you should be okay, but maybe expect someone coming home there to be just a little bit late. Overall, though, the community commute is very much improved. On a traffic map, you're looking for red, you're looking for orange, sometimes yellow. Green is good. Really, it's just about the yellow, slower than 40 miles an hour out there. You should be okay. We'll keep an eye on it with more traffic coming.
A reminder, you can catch our forecasts and newscasts on your schedule on the 5+ app. Download it for free on Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV. Just search KSTK in the App Store.
This is not a gift. This is not a service. This is not a proposal that we want whatsoever.
Some St. Louis residents are pushing back on a plan to fly surveillance drones in the area. An out-of-town business wants to start the program later this month. But the city of St. Louis sent a cease and desist letter to the company today, potentially impacting those plans. Our Justina Cornell joins us in studio to explain.
Yeah, Mike, those letters were sent to the company's CEO, Jomo Johnson, today. This is after his company picked the Gravois Park neighborhood to beta test its security drone program. Now, he tells me the purpose of this drone surveillance is for crime prevention and community watch initiatives in the area.
It feels totally random for him to have chosen Gravois Park.
Out-of-town film company SMS Novel wants to use drone surveillance to curb crime in St. Louis. The CEO, Jomo Johnson, picked the Gravois Park neighborhood, saying it has a unique trend in violent crime and historic connection to the city. His goal is to record footage, monitor and live stream activities, and deter crime. The 2-week beta test was set to begin at the end of January. However, the city of St. Louis got involved Tuesday, sending a cease and desist to the CEO, saying he needs permits to carry out his plan.
We've literally had 0 conversations with neighbors who are excited about this drone proposal.
And the idea has also faced backlash from residents.
So neighbors and I drafted this petition to urge the mayor, the president of the Board of Aldermen, and the alder people who represent Gravois Park to do something to stop this.
Gravois Park resident Jacob Linefield believes there are holes.
Across the board, whether it's public engagement, protecting civil liberties, hearing the concerns about real public safety in our neighborhood, this guy's been absent. If this guy was concerned about curbing crime in St. Louis, then he should have come to talk to us about what we actually need. And what we actually need is investment in our people.
Even though Linefield finds the drone idea unfavorable, he admits it shines light on a bigger issue.
It's brought to light the gaps in our local laws that potentially allow someone to fly unaccountable, unmanned surveillance technology over our neighborhoods.
Now, I did reach out to the CEO about the cease and desist letter. He said, quote, "We will not abide to any notice that contradicts federal and state filming laws," end quote. Right now, Gravois Park Neighborhood Association is meeting to discuss their concerns.
Justina, thanks. St. Louis Mayor Tishaura Jones highlighted a significant reduction in violent crime during her State of Public Safety report today. She held her news conference on the 1-year anniversary of hiring Chief Robert Tracy to take the reins of the police department. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, pressed Tracy to answer questions about that recent police vehicle that crashed into a South City bar. Mark?
Yeah, Chief Tracy acknowledged the department could look at models in other cities to try and improve its overall driver safety training program for officers behind the wheel, a number of recent crashes lately. He also offered an apology and expressed remorse for that specific incident, which happened more than 3 weeks ago now. Tracy took heat during that press conference for waiting so long to address the public himself. He defended the decision to sidestep the spotlight for a few weeks and let other captains take the stage. He called it executive development for his up-and-coming officers who were taking the stage there answering those questions. But he also broke a bit of news himself. Tracy said one internal investigation into at least one of those officers will not conclude in a finding of no fault.
We want to hold our officers accountable. They're held to a higher level because they should be, because of the awesome responsibility that we give them. They made a mistake. They made a mistake. And we will review that. And just because they made a mistake doesn't mean we don't hold them accountable. I'm glad those officers are all right. I feel bad, and I'm sorry that their establishment got hit and they got the damage that happened to that place. Nobody wants to see that.
Tracy also doubled down and defended his decision not to release body camera video, hiding behind a state transparency law. He claims the department can't release that video until after a criminal investigation is over. But it was his department that launched the investigation. He now argues it's out of his hands because they referred that to prosecutors for misdemeanor charges. He says he won't necessarily use that same standard in every case in the future.
Learning when to pull the trigger. A look at how the FBI is training agents to make those split-second decisions.